For years I've been seeing you in my dreams, and lately more and more. I know it's you, but I can no longer recognize your face. I don't know if I'd recognize you if I saw you. I hope your condition hasn't worsened much since you last wrote. I can hardly imagine what a nightmare you're going through. Remember, you're not alone. I'm sure our father would be happy to help, if only you asked him. I assure you that for now, I haven't said a word to him about your search or your health, just as you requested. He doesn't know your intention, and with God as my witness, he'll not find out from me. I know, you think the only thing that can help you is a miracle. But such itinerant miracle workers, preachers, and folk mystics often take advantage of those in grave condition who are desperate or seeking help. I hope the man you're pursuing can actually ease your mind. But if not, remember that in the end, we will find a way to help you. Just because we can't see it now, does not mean it doesn't exist. Send word as soon as you get there. I want to know you are safe. With as much love as I have. Ligia.
Could you spare a moment for me? I'd like to send a telegram.
Of course. Pardon me, sir, but are you feeling all right?
Yes, thank you.
You're not looking your best.
Thank you.
What's your message?
Take this down, please. Arrived. Very beautiful views. People honest at first glance. Sincerely, your barely living cripple.
I didn't mean to cause offense.
Well, then strike that, please. Take this down, please. Arrived. I think I have found him. I hope he will receive me. I will write as soon as I am able.
And payment?
On receipt.
Anything to add at the end?
Please add, my love to you, my sister.
Touching. From whom?
My name is Viktor Szulski. S-Z-U-L-S-K-I. And Viktor with a W, not a V.
Interesting name. Where's this headed?
Warsaw. Russia.
And this is supposedly Georgia. Russia here and Russia there. Russia everywhere, on every map.
Maps change. I know. Let's get on with it.
Pardon?
I was talking to myself. Which way to the village?
The coachman is picking up the mail. Maybe he'll give you a ride.
Thank you.
Loony.
Hello. Are you going to the village by any chance?
Hello there. Where else? There's nowhere to go here, sir. The station, the village, and the cemetery. That's all. A horse can't go any higher.
The village is what interests me.
Well, if you've got reason to be there, climb in.
So is it just locals living in the village?
Who else would want to live in a shithole like this?
I actually meant, is there anyone visiting, a guest?
Ah, you came for some healing. Well, he's no guest here. He's been here months, my friend. The people are tormented, so he's sure got folks to heal.
Where might I find him?
I bet he's still in the tavern. He prays this time of day. Oh, he prays a heck of a lot. You getting in, or what?
I'd be grateful.
Always nice to have someone to shoot the breeze with. Nothing to see around here. This is everything. Hard to get lost in this place. Head to the tavern over there, past the little square, up the steps. They'll tell you where the preacher's at. Or this time of day, he'll be there himself.
Thank you. Gentlemen, is this the tavern here?
Hey, Putnik. You coming from far?
Indeed, I'm tired.
Nice boots. Are they warm?
Actually, I have particularly warm boots. Thanks.
And sooner or later, these might kick their arses.
Don't tempt me, Luca. Don't tempt me. Give me a sec. Got to sort out formalities with this tourist.
It's your snummy. We're the Tsar's soldiers.
Those don't look like soldiers' faces. Closer to thieves.
I don't think he'll talk to us voluntarily.
There's the Ruskies right. They won't report us. They'll be too embarrassed to admit some cripple got the better of them.
Good boy. Forgive me, sir. Is your name Grigory Efimovich Rasputin?
I forgive you.
I'm sorry. It's just I've been looking for you for a very long time, and...
And you expected a thinking simpleton, an illiterate who swindles sick people and claims he can speak to God himself. I already said I forgive you.
Yes, I've heard. Especially in Petersburg. I've also heard about the healings, even hopeless cases. Inexplicable ones.
And what do you believe in?
If you help me, I'll believe all of it. And please believe me when I say I've tried everything short of a miracle. And I know the meaning of that word. I'm a Thaumaturge.
Where are you coming from?
I'm from Warsaw,
So, from Russia.
Poland.
From which Poland? The Russian one, the German one, or the part that belongs to Austria?
From Warsaw.
Do you have a name?
Wiktor Szulski.
On my path, I've already come across people who have lied to me about their problems, and then gone around calling me a charlatan. After them, others arrived, with pitchforks and torches, and I had to endure insults and spit in my face, or flee for my life. And now you say you're a wizard from an imaginary country that no one has seen on a map in over 100 years. Forgive my amusement. I haven't had my first coffee yet.
I forgive you, and I'm still asking for help.
Prove you're a Thaumaturge, and I'll hear what you have to say.
What would you like me to do, sir?
I've met a few of your kind, so I know what you're capable of. Find something in this tavern that belongs to me, and tell me something only I could know.
First, I need to have something personal that belongs to you, to learn your trace. It's a sort of pattern I'll use to recognize the other objects.
Smell this.
I'll return to you in a moment.
I can hardly wait.
Let's take a look around. No luck. Oh well. Who would have thought there were such layers of passion within him? I failed.
What have you learned, wizard?
Well, you're a zealous man. It permeates every level of your personality, your faith, your abilities.
Not such an impressive discovery.
I haven't finished yet. In Petersburg, you left behind a very devoted and very young lady-in-waiting.
At least one, my friend. Have a seat. Tell me again, why were you looking for me?
I can't help but ask you about that young lady from Petersburg.
Careful, I'm starting to like you. But not enough to tell you about Petersburg. How do you think I might help you?
A few years ago, I attempted to catch a wild saluter, and that ended with me losing contact with my first saluter. That means I can't develop my abilities. I know that my Uber is there. Sometimes he shows himself, but I can't feel the link anymore. Generally speaking, I'm losing it more and more each day. If it disappears, my mind, I'll lose my sense of reality. I'll fall into madness.
I don't know if I can help you.
I've got money, if that's what matters.
Give it to the needy. Your riches mean nothing to me. I meant I don't know if I'm able to help you. My gift is something I've received from God. Some I've helped, others I can't say. And I've never treated a Thaumaturge.
Maybe just do the same with me as with the others.
We can try. Focus on my voice. You are safe. As long as you can hear my voice, you are safe. Let me gaze into your mind. Let me see through your eyes. Let me...
Where am I? Rasputin. There's no one in here. I need to get out of here. What is this sound? Shackles?
You're blind. You've never grasped the science of spotting the perfectly obvious. Can you still not see?
What do I supposedly not see?
Flaw clouds your vision. It always has. Pride. Your damned pride and sense of superiority.
I must have gotten that from you, Father.
You'll lose, idiot. You always do. You're even losing against yourself. You can't see, but can you at least hear? You're weak, stupid, and blind. Do you hear me? Do you? Do you?
I can see, Father. Clearly.
Will you be lying there much longer? I wanted to sweep.
Where's Rasputin?
In the cemetery, chasing away evil spirits and giving people comfort. You all right?
Yes, yes. Absolutely.
I wanted to sweep.
I'm just heading out. It's so good to see you again. And something else. I saw him clear as day. It wasn't a vision. It was a saluter, unbound by a pact. A wild one. And if so, that means there's someone in the village with a flaw that's attracting it.
You talking to me?
I was praying.
I wanted to sweep.
Excuse me. I need to get to the local cemetery. Could you give me a lift?
I've only just come back from the post office this morning. I'm not getting the horse going again. Back to the cemetery. It's not like anyone there is going to run away. And look, my horse is more dead than alive.
I'll be right back.
I'm not going anywhere.
Maybe you'll change your mind and drop me off at the cemetery after all.
Well, on the other hand, this place isn't much more exciting than the cemetery, and I meant to take the horse out for a ride, so get on.
You're alive. Does that mean I helped, Thaumaturge?
When I heard you were at the cemetery, I was sure I'd see you resurrecting the dead.
Not yet. Today I'm just praying for rest for Vasily's soul. The whole village is suffering after his loss. He was the elder here.
He cursed this place. Since he died, darkness and misfortune have hung over the village.
You see? To them, every harm comes down to witchcraft. They believe that after Vasily's passing, the village was possessed by some monster that howls at night or some other Yafiets.
What changed in the village after the elder died?
It's all dreadful, sir. Everything's gone topsy-turvy. When folks get to arguing now, they're so hot-headed, before you know it, they're at one another's throats. Ladies have no patience for kids, nor lads for ladies, nor neighbors for neighbors. Any word might seem offensive and like an insult waiting to happen. Then you've got to fight.
Tragedies such as Vasily's death leave their mark on everyone. It takes time to come to terms with something like this. That doesn't mean this place is possessed by dark forces.
How did this elder die?
There was a fire, sir. Flames shooting sky high, and him burning, swearing, speaking curses. And the curse stuck. Those ruins seem a profaned place now. A wicked spirit has taken over the blighted land.
Don't encourage her. Once she gets going, it can't be stopped.
This could also be the work of a Salita.
What do you mean?
As you were healing me, I had a dream, a vision. But on the borderline of sleep and wakefulness, I thought I saw a Salutor. That's what might be influencing the villagers in Wailing at night.
They're good people, but none too bright, Victor. I'm afraid they might be talking about a train.
The wise woman was saying the evil spirit is a book of hatch.
Does the creature hunting you rattle chains, slither around, and have a mouth full of giant fangs?
A book of hatch.
Where did this elder live?
I'll show you. Let's allow Vasily's soul to rest for today. Amen.
Can you feel it? It's the smell of mystery. A horrible death. True fear. I felt something. Where is it? This house was always full of fear, and its owner was still alive when the house caught fire. Someone wanted to kill him. The fire only covered up the crime. The murder gave birth to the floor that you attached to, didn't it? I'll find you when I track down the murderer.
Victor! I hope you've got what you want now, Thaumaturge. Because I think it's time to get out of here.
Why the hurry, Father? We're the Tsar's men. How about the donation for the Tsar's army?
There are no Russian outposts here.
I think this is the guy with the nice boots.
You're the guy who trashed our comrades?
I can do exactly the same to all of you.
He's not as weak as he looks. He actually looks better than he did the other day.
But not counting the priest. He's still alone.
Not anymore, I'm not. You're right, sir.
Me? Yes, but can these salutors also help you in a fight? Can you manipulate people and cast these demons into their minds?
Generally speaking, yes. Are you sure you're right, sir?
Call me Grigori.
Let's head back. I have to visit someone in the village who can tell me more about what happened here. I felt something. Where is it?
They'll all gawk, but without lifting a finger. Just, Vesna will bring it, Vesna will help. But if Vesna needs help with something, there's nobody to be found. That's not yours, don't touch! All these newcomers causing more problems.
Am I sensing?
Over my dead body. I reject this verdict.
Well, I expected as much. And he wanted to come see you himself. He was first to judge.
I said what I said, and I won't change my mind. Go away. You're attracting gawkers.
Not gawkers. A witness. And let him listen. He'll see it fairly. Sir, this liar and thief here stole a memento of my mother. And this witch says I'm supposed to hand my goose over to him too?
Because you strangled mine. And what do I care about some trinkets your mother left you?
Because we already know you strangled the goose, but you still haven't proved that Bogdan stole your pendant.
Where is the justice here?
Why don't you relax and listen to the words of a wise woman?
Well, all in all, it's... I'm sorry, Bogdan.
Come inside, and tell me what you're doing here.
What do we have here? Thaumaturge never fails me. There is something here. The villagers seem to have a certain respect for you, ma'am, so I wanted to ask your help with something.
I'm not getting any younger, boy. Talk before I drop dead.
A lot of people benefit from your wisdom. They're superstitious and timid, as far as I've been able to figure out. Easy to control, right?
Pot calling kettle. That, my boy, that you can ask that charlatan with fancy dress and beard. Who takes advantage of who here? Bah! The people here are believers, of course. But the spirit in the village is real, too.
Is this spirit you're talking about, not a person?
I heard it howling. That's nothing human. One evil spirit here persecutes people, and you can hear it now and then, sometimes. Tragedies attract it, and impure thoughts. We here call it a Bukovac.
But other places probably call it other things.
An evil spirit's an evil spirit. It torments people and turns their weaknesses against them.
And what if I told you I could get rid of it?
I'd say I'll believe it when I see it. And I'd ask, how else can I help you?
Well then, I hope you'll still be alive when I get back, madam. Am I sensing? know that woman's trace. Vesna and her husband both left traces of themselves at Vasily's burned-out farmstead. Luca says Haley loves his wife. You think he loves her strongly enough to kill for her? You're right. It'd be better to ask Vesna about that. I wanted to talk. Ma'am, please open the door.
Please go. We didn't invite any guests over.
Please open the door. I'd like to have a chat about your husband.
You'd better not be here when he gets back. He's not as talkative or polite as I am.
I know you're scared, but please, just open the door a crack and let me ask one quick question.
What do you want?
Please, don't be afraid. I just need to know where I can find your husband.
He's chopping wood in the clearing by the forest.
Again.
This time, it's a matter of life and death.
How is your search going?
Almost finished. I know who's attracting the Bukavach.
Can you reveal that secret?
It's Luca. It has to be Luca.
Do you still want to catch that Salutor?
Yes, absolutely.
Despite the risk?
I hope I can persuade you to come with me.
That's an enormous favor you're asking me. I hope you'll be able to return it.
I give my word.
Did you hear? We're going to see Luca Bogosian.
I'm not here to fight.
Luca!
You shouldn't have threatened my wife.
Why did you do this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're the one who brought the Salutor here. The spirit that you all say arrived in the village after Vasily's death. The Salutor is what's making fear consume you all and making you hot-headed. And it's because of your flaw, which has been within you since the murder took place.
A murder might just be about to take place.
Cut off his head.
What?
Tear off his head before he opens his mouth again.
Unless you're the one that killed him.
And I'd do it again if I could. Get out of here!
Here you are, UNCUT. Vesna's flaw is mine, and you're mine. crazy again, you blind fool.
A little faith, Thaumaturge. Focus on what's true. My voice is true. I am the truth, you see. Look.
Unbelievable.
How do you feel? Are you all right?
Well, I don't think I'm hallucinating, but that means I'm currently facing a crowd of furious lumberjacks with axes, so I'd say I've been better.
What? What? I'm telling the truth. I do it again. None of you understand anything. It's because of this magician. It's his fault.
The magician didn't kill Vasily. He didn't bring the evil here. You're a witch! To the stake with her! To the stake!
And you... why are you just standing there? Are you just letting them do this? Fine. I'll handle it myself. I did it before, and I can do it now.
What have you done? Go. You don't need to see this.
Nothing has to be decided at the moment. Certainly not things that can't be undone.
Well, exactly. Beat it, you scoundrels. There's enough blood in this village already.
Sharing a village with murderers?
You were the first to spill blood!
It's not the same. If that's the case, you're banished from the village. Get out of here! We'll burn away the impurity you left in our village. Phew.
Excuse me, sir. Do you happen to know when the train arrives? The postmaster said it's usually no more than an hour late, so it should be here any moment. I got a tougher question for you.
Pardon?
Will this train get me close to Albuquerque?
I'm afraid that's an ocean away, and even to the ocean you've got a ways to go.
Thank you. Ever since I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque, I can't get my bearings. The things I've seen, sir. Places I've been. I just can't get to Albuquerque.
I wanted to send 2 telegrams, one to Warsaw and one to Paris.
Mr. Shulsky, I was meant to send for you when the driver came to get the mail. My condolences about your father. Do you still want to send something?
Did you come to say goodbye to me?
More like to share my fear. Your condition yesterday, after the fight with that Bukovac. It troubled me. I don't think my treatments are having a long-lasting effect. And you don't look the best. Do you feel all right?
I've just heard that my father is dead.
My condolences.
After your treatment, when I was hallucinating, I saw him. I heard his voice for the first time in years. I'm sure it was him. A strange feeling.
Maybe he came to say goodbye. Maybe it was his last chance to speak to you. A prophecy.
I hope not.
What do you intend to do now?
I have to bury my father in Warsaw. What about you?
Thanks to you, I don't think I have anything else to do here. I had a little time to think about what I saw in your mind. Tell me, Victor, have you ever seen a human skull cracked open on the cobblestones?
I haven't.
I have. The skull of Franz Ferdinand himself, with his brain spilling out onto the sidewalk. I also saw the white steps in Odessa running with blood. A battlefield blanketed in lethal fog, with faceless beings emerging from it. This hasn't happened yet, but I saw it as clearly as I see you now. Thanks to you, I know that I can stop it. I know that I am part of history, and I can change it. Even at the cost of scorn, contempt, or my life. You promised me a favor, so Warsaw sounds perfect.
Warszawa! Warsaw! Warsaw! Last stop, Warsaw. Time to wake up.
It's clouding over.
The weather is like my mood.
Aside from the circumstances of the funeral bringing you back, you hadn't thought of ever returning here?
I hate this city. It always makes me think of the stench of vodka, sweat, and urine. Corruption, poverty, and trust me, no justice but street justice.
I'm sure something must have changed since you left.
But probably not for the better.
What about the people? Those close to you? You'll never miss them?
The only person I consider close is my sister. But Varsovians? Let's see. Workers are striking. They want to take advantage of the Tsar's visit to Warsaw. The protests are being violently suppressed. Last week, around a dozen people were killed. Polish Socialist Party militants attacked a train. They stole money, bonds, and explosive materials. They're also suspected of robbing a transport of Dutch pomade. The socialists in Warsaw must look pretty sharp then. Further along, we've got murders, muggings, and poverty.
The newspapers feed on sensation. Remember that in darkness, even a small spark can be seen clearly. Even I can feel hope from all the people riding with us. Can't you?
Even without my powers, I can tell that hope is bringing people here from all three petitions. Miners, steelworkers, governesses, maids, speculators, thieves. I've forgotten to read a few of our fellow passengers' possessions, and I know that hope can have many faces.
Will you share that knowledge with me?
There's a terrified woman riding with us. She's either running away or in hiding. I think that gentleman is smuggling something, because excitement is all mixed up with guilt inside him. And this dandy, he's going whoring.
If there's something I've learned in life, Victor, it's never to neglect the whores.
Warsaw, end of the line. Welcome to Warszawa.
I think the time's come to ask where you plan to stay.
I'll let you know when I come up with something.
When people unite, empires fall. Why such a crowd?
The circus has come to town.
These are troubled times. Brothers turn against brothers. Russia has had enough bloodshed. The violence must stop. When socialists attempt to divide Russia and her subject nations, to dent the sword that smote the enemy at Grunwald, this demands my decisive action. Thus, by my grace, I hereby appoint as Governor-General of Warsaw, Georgi Antonovich Skowon.
A butcher.
Not a popular guy, I presume.
I see you ain't from here. That swine keeps a photo album of all the folks he's had shot at the Citadel.
Before and after execution.
Warsaw! The time for leniency and indulgence is over. From the moment this office is bestowed on me, no forces hostile to the subjects of Greater Russia will have any further right to exist. None! Whether it be brutal socialist subversives, communists, Jews, or other satanic provocators.
He sure knows how to unite a crowd.
Pardon me, are you Polish?
I was born in Warsaw, but I'm lapsed. My name's Victor.
Wanda.
This is Russia here. Like it or not. Warszawa! Время террора закончилось.
Иди нахуй!
My first decision as Governor-General of Warsaw. Arrestować.
Great heroes in their sense of timing. Of course, now they're the first ones in the fight.
Samoobladanie, Polyaki. We want that rebel. The loudmouth.
Damn.
What happened?
Be a gentleman. Please kneel and tie my shoe.
That seems more like a job for the servants, young lady.
Go ahead. Look down. Can I ask you a tiny favor? The Russians can't find out about this. The military is just looking for an excuse to suppress the crowd, and these workers are dreaming of thrashing a Russian gendarme.
Either one of you confesses to disturbing the peace, or всех забирай. We'll take you all in.
You can't handle all of us.
Can you get us out of here?
I think I'm open to any kind of suggestion.
With a book like that, I'd find out what would convince one of these bastards to let us go. Or I'd take on that self-appointed leader of the proletariat.
Interesting strategy. Who are you, really?
A damsel in distress.
Those don't usually hide ammunition in their stockings.
Can I explain it to you another time?
For instance, I could disclose to a soldier that you came here with ammunition under your skirt.
Maybe we should see who they believe. A respected lady of Warsaw, or a common magician who just 100 years ago would have been burned at the stake.
Well, since you asked so nicely, I'm going to take a look around.
Do you think it's a good idea to stir people up and send them to face bullets and bayonets?
What do you want then? My whole life on my knees? Kissing Ruski's ass?
I was trying to keep from dragging ordinary people into the fight. They won't expect us to strike first. How many are coming with us?
Let's see for ourselves. Name?
Szulski. Victor.
One of those Shulskis?
Yes.
My condolences. Now, profile.
Thank you.
What you pissing in the bucket for, asshole?
Where else am I supposed to?
Brown in the bucket, whiz on the wall.
You better remember that, too. That bucket's gonna last you guys till tomorrow.
Can I use the phone?
What are you staring at, Ganef?
I don't know what that means.
Quit squealing. First time in the big city? Have some respect if you don't know who you're running your mouth at. He's one of them that went after the Ruskies with his bare fists.
I showed a couple of Russian soldiers when I think about the petitions.
I have moments like that sometimes.
And I gave it to some Ruskies in the kisser, too. There's this red-bearded fella sitting there. I glassed him in the face, then kicked him in the bean, and wham! On the floor. And I pinched his billfold, too.
Did anybody ask you? Shut your damn trap. Well, are you from somebody?
My name's Viktor Szulski, and I work on my own behalf.
All right. Respect.
First of all, I am a Thaumaturge.
Now them, I got respect for. I know one really decent Jew from Povishla, who's a wizard too.
How about you? You got a foreskin or what?
Is my foreskin any of your fucking business?
Well, no. I was just...
Schmuck. But you don't look like much of a Warsaw lad.
I'm just here for my father's funeral.
I hope you don't miss the funeral toasts. Welcome to Warsaw.
I wouldn't call you a master strategist.
You got away from the station, so theoretically, we achieved our goal.
You're not losing your sense of humor. I guess this isn't your first time in a place like this, is it?
We've got a little time to kill. Maybe now you can tell me more about yourself. You seem to know your way around this setting. You've been here often?
I'll take that as a compliment. And sure, sometimes, if the cause demands it.
What cause?
Let's say I know certain folks who'd find poles like you useful.
Dealers in stolen Dutch pomade?
Donut connoisseurs. They met at Burke Rotblitz's cafe.
What exactly do your friends do?
I'd be glad to tell you, over coffee and jam donuts.
I'm afraid all these crews might have more questions and want to keep you here longer.
Then you won't just miss out on the pastries, but also an adventure worthy of a great cause.
Szulski!
I see you won't be hanging out here long either.
Szulski, this yours?
That's right.
Then take it and get out of here.
Thank you.
I'm sure you don't remember me. My name's Hayat, Mordecai Hayat. I wanted to offer my condolences.
Thank you.
Please, forgive my prying. I know Mr. Shulsky took nitroglycerin for his heart, but how did he pass away? Was that his cause of death? His heart?
We've ruled out any coronary causes since the doctors couldn't confirm whether the deceased had a heart.
Yes, I understand. My condolences, once again. I'll leave you alone. I'm sure you want to bid farewell to your father.
I think I ought to arrest you, Thaumaturge. Put your hands down. Someone might see. You still haven't figured out who I am? Don't be surprised. The last time we saw one another was 20 kilos ago.
Uncle Voronian?
I will not keep you. The guy's probably all alone back there, among those vultures circling Stasio. I'm sure she'll be glad to see you. Go on. We'll talk later.
Sister?
Victor. I'm so glad you came. I wasn't sure if my telegram had reached you.
I'm glad too. How are you holding up?
All this caught me off guard, but for now I don't have time to think things through calmly. Look at yourself. What happened?
I took a short trip to a Warsaw jail.
What? Are you joking? During the funeral? Are you all right?
Everything's fine, don't worry. Have you written to Mother?
Yes, but what can you expect? You know what Nadia is like. It was never her style to show up for family events like this. It's getting late, and we've still got the reading of Papa's will ahead of us at home. And I'll leave you two alone. I suppose you've got your own matters to clear up.
Fine, let's get this over with. So, it was me who got it right in the end. Back then, on the train platform, was the last time we saw one another. 15 years ago. After brief suffering, fell asleep in the Lord. Brief? I hope not. Did you write this yourself? A tyrant, bigot, and liar, mistakenly absolved, died after suffering all too briefly. That's better. Definitely closer to the truth. The day you died, you visited me in my dreams. I was a child when you hounded me out of here, and I remember you as you were back then. But in my dream you looked older. You gave me hell as usual. You didn't believe I'd succeed. You were wrong. I've come back with 2 saluters. I'm sorry there are so many things I didn't get to say to your face. All those years, I said them over and over to myself in my head. How you were never able to admit a mistake. You never sought blame in yourself. Someone else was always guilty, never you. Mother because she wanted something for herself in life. Ligia because she wasn't born a boy. Me because I was born a Thaumaturge, but I didn't want to live following your principles. And now... Farewell, Father.
Am I intruding?
I was reflecting at the grave of my beloved father.
You tricked me. I heard something else. Stanisław and I were acquainted. You might say I knew everything about your father. Mr. Victor Szulski, isn't it? Your absence from Warsaw has happily come to an end, I hope.
I haven't had time to think about it.
I understand. I hope you'll find some reason to stay here a little longer. Again, my condolences.
I didn't catch your name.
My name's Kanieczkin. Ivan Kanieczkin. Goodbye.
Such interesting friends you had. I guess I'm more tired than I thought. Grandpa Nicolem, a Thaumaturge. I barely remember him. Great-grandmother Josefina, a Thaumaturge. We can go. The hardest thing was getting the lid of the urn. The scattering I could handle.
You can play the clown, but I know how much this has cost you. I'm glad you went.
Love at a funeral. Eros post-mortem. Is it suitable for a young lady in mourning to fraternize with bachelors? Konstancja Szabłowska, the Warsaw Courier. Could I ask for a brief comment?
Hyena.
Thank you. And you, sir?
I suggest you leave. Otherwise, I'll overlook your womanhood and make sure you can never pronounce a single syllable correctly again.
You'd permit that to happen, Judge? Maybe I should write about this.
And who would let you print it?
Someday the press will get the Russian boot off its neck, Judge.
I'm afraid none of us will live to see the day, my dear. Come on, children. I'm sure my Petya is already waiting for us at home.
I'd love to see my cousin.
Are you coming with us?
Thanks.
Get in. I'm sure the lawyer is already waiting for us.
Miss, your guests have arrived. The lawyer's upstairs too, waiting. A trifle jittery. Wonder if the tea I made him was too strong.
Thank you, Grażyna dear. Let the guests wait. First, I want to take care of the will.
I'll just wet my whistle and join you all upstairs.
Make sure Uncle makes it upstairs sober. And I'll suggest you don't dawdle either.
Master Victor, good God! Half your face covered, but I could tell right away it was you. You look just like your father in his youth. Completely his spitting image. Should I make you some cocoa, Master? It would warm you up a little.
Make an extra creamy one for Ligia.
Oh, I won't skimp on her. Now, your sister's putting a brave face on all this, but she's really having a hard time. It's lovely to see you again. But that's enough jabber for now. I've got the guests and the cocoa, and I've got to whip up some food for you all later. We'll talk soon.
I don't want to put my foot in my mouth again. I already failed to recognize someone once today, but you look familiar.
Well, I should think so. I was the victim of one of your starling hunts. Voronins must not be very memorable, cousin.
Pietia! Forgive me, and for shooting you as well. How are you doing?
Just some heart problems, not a subject for today. I'm sorry about Uncle Stanislav. Forgive me for not coming to the funeral. I can't bear cemeteries.
We'll have to meet up again.
Goodbye.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. I thought I'd have to drink alone.
So many goodies laid out for the guests. Having trouble picking something for yourself, Judge?
But this was Stashio's. It was special. Amber liqueur with quinces.
I think you mean quince liqueur with amber, right? If it's not here, I'm sure it's in the basement. But I won't grope around down there in the dark now. I've got my hands full.
Now, I don't want to trouble you either. Victor, could you track down a little bottle for your uncle?
I suppose I'm obligated to accept this mission.
Good lad. A nephew like you is a treasure. How did it go? Mission accomplished?
I think this is the one Uncle wanted.
Yes. This is our little funeral battle. We would meet in Stasha's study after every funeral we went to, and raised a toast to the dead. And recently, we've been seeing one another more and more at such events. More and more. But this time, even he has left me. So, to an easy death, as Stasha and I used to say.
How did he die?
Hasn't Lygia told you?
I haven't even had the chance to ask.
He didn't suffer, but such images in the memory are better saved for later. I'd prefer to remember him as he was alive. What then? Am I drinking alone? Familiar faces keep vanishing from my life. Stasio and my Helena before him. I miss my little darling. I miss them both. Well, obligation fulfilled. Shall we get to the reading of the will?
Yes, let's find out what my father hasn't left me.
Let's begin if everyone is ready. Would you all please take a seat? Ladies and gentlemen, by the power of my office vested in me by the grace of His Imperial Majesty, the Emperor of all Russia, I hereby testify. Mr. Shulski's last will and testament were prepared several years ago in the presence of Zaslav Fedorov, Esquire, that is, myself. My last will and testament recorded in the year of our Lord 1888. In the name of the Holy Trinity. Amen. Therefore, my first irrevocable wish is to appoint as executrix of this will my daughter, Lygia Szulska. Immediately after my death, an inventory shall be conducted in full accordance with the law. After completing the inventory, all my personal movables will be sold at public auction. And let the funds raised thereby be donated on the anniversary of my death to the beggars near that cemetery. The administration of the remainder of my fortune I leave, without restriction, to the person of my daughter Lygia.
I'm not even getting a teaspoon.
All movables and immovables relating to the family enterprise I entrust to the care and administration of my daughter. I do not prescribe a method of administering them. I merely offer her one piece of advice. I wish that the business should be conducted with modesty, prudence, and honesty, as I have conducted it my whole life.
A joker to the very end.
To my brother-in-law and oldest friend, Alexander Voronin, I wish to leave the following. My collection of muskets and 2 revolvers, dating to the uprising in memory of our first meeting.
Stasio, I will have plenty to do in my retirement.
Enjoy your retirement. I wish you success with your business and your hunting. I'm going to have something to eat before heading off.
Just a moment yet, Mr. Szulski. Your name is also mentioned here.
A last-minute plot twist.
I would also like to come to the aid of my only son, Viktor Szulski, by entrusting him with the use of my personal black grimoire, in the hope that he will be able to make good use of it. This is my last will and testament. Carry it out solemnly, though you may have found it burdensome. However, this last bequest poses a certain problem.
Yes, it certainly does. And what is that, may I ask?